Ladies and gentlemen, it happened again, y'all. And I tell you on my previous videos, when it comes to police-involved shootings of black men in this country, it doesn't happen every week, every month, every year. It happens every day. Now, this article comes from News One. Joshua Feast, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, who this person who was killed. Joshua Feast was the latest victim. He was 22 years old. And the independent autopsy has finally concluded that he was shot in the back, which means he ran away from the police officer and they shot him in the back, killing him. So this article comes from News One, and it says Joshua Feast's independent autopsy show he was shot in the back, confirming witnesses' accounts. It says an independent, excuse me, y'all. Closes. Sorry about that. It says an independent autopsy commissioned by the family of a young black man killed by police last week in Texas confirmed their worst fears. Joshua Feast was fatally shot in the back. Oh Lord, here we go with Benjamin Crumb. He's like every time something happens, he's always involved, and we already know why he's involved. He want to get money off of this. He want to get the bag. That's all it is. But let me go ahead and continue reading this article. It says civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the 22-year-old family, shared the details of the report during a news conference Wednesday evening. It is very consistent with literally what the witnesses' accounts were from that night, said Crump, about the shooting in the town of Lamarck on December 9th. When it entered, it caused all kinds of damage, and literally the injuries caused Joshua Feast to be dead on arrival at a hospital. Crump previously uncovered a Lamarck police officer, Jose Santos' prior history of violence, pointing to body cam footage from 2013, which showed him beating a man and holding his head underwater as he yells, "I can't breathe." At the time, Santos was employed by the Galveston Police Department. A cloud of doubt and suspicions are cast over Feast's killing and subsequently police investigation. The shooting took place across the street from Feast's uncle's home, around 11:15 p.m. Feast's uncle told local news outlet KTRK that he witnessed Santos making a U-turn after spotting Feast. He called out to Feast, which prompted the young man to run and fired a shot that struck him in the back. Through this account, Feast posed no threat to Santos. It is also established that the two may have had prior history, if Santos was able to casually identify Feast on the street. A neighbor who witnessed the aftermath said they heard Santos yell commands for Feast to put his hands up when Feast was already shot. Lamarck police said Feast was wanted for other incidents and recovered a gun at the scene, though they refused to release details and body cam footage. The Galveston County Sheriff's Office is conducting the investigation while Santos was placed on administrative leave, of course, falling in line with standard police procedures following on-duty shootings. But like other black families who have lived through this type of state-sanctioned violence, the question remains if justice will actually be served. Feast's family and legal representation demand that the footage of the shooting be released for full transparency and are backed by the families of George Floyd and Pamela Turner. Supporters of the Feast are advocating for the termination of Santos and Lamarck Police Chief Kirk Jackson. Feast's mother launched a GoFundMe campaign to help her son's two children and to offset the cost of his funeral and legal fees. My son was loving, caring, and God-fearing man who leaves behind two amazing children whom he loved dearly, 5-year-old Aaliyah and 3-year-old Joshua Jr., she wrote. This fund is established to cover funeral and burial expenses, mental and grief counseling, lodging, and travel for all court proceedings, and to assist our family in the days to come as we continue to seek justice for Joshua. A portion of these funds will also go to the estate of Joshua Feast for the benefit and care of his two children. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the News One article. See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you like this. This is not the first, and it's definitely not the last. We see, I've been doing stories of police involved shootings, whether a person is armed or unarmed. And obviously, the evidence is clear that the brother was shot in the back. Now, I know police going to say, well, they charged the. I know what they're going to say, that Joshua Feast charged him first, and that's when they shot him, which clearly proves that wasn't the case. That he ran away from the police, and that's when they shot the brother and killed him. And then, you know what? I wouldn't even trust the Galveston County Sheriff's officers to do this investigation. I would involve the Texas Rangers. And I'm going to tell you why, y'all. The Texas Rangers always try to figure out what really happened with police officers. But I don't think they want to do that because it's like doing what's right. But it shows you, y'all, that, again, we have another person that was shot and killed in the hands of the police. And you know what? And they talk about that he found a gun on the scene. And really, how do you know that was his gun? You don't know that for sure. And witnesses said that he ran away from police. He didn't point no gun. He didn't try to shoot at officers. He was running away from him. And then this officer has been in trouble before in 2013, has been reported. So he left the Galveston Police Department and went to the police department. And this is why I said that every time a police officer did something wrong, if the police officer was fired, the other police department hired him the next day or the next 2 days. This is how they do. But y'all, it shows you that another young black man, 22 years old, was shot in the back and killed the brother. So y'all let me know what you think about this story. Again, it's like I said before, they talk about police reform. Nothing's going to be done with that. Let's keep it real. And it's like time and time again, there's stories after stories saying that another black man being killed by police. And it's like everyday incident. It's like a new norm. And then you got Benjamin Crump. Here we go with him. And he's not interested within the family. He's basically interested in a bag. He wants to get paid as usual. That's how he is. Every time there's been police-involved shootings, he's there. If not him, Lee Merritt. But I digress. So y'all let me know what you think. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. And rest in peace, brother Joshua Feast. This is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.